It is March 30th, 2022, and Lake Cumberland is absolutely on fire. Now is the time to get on that lake because it's fishing as good as I've ever seen it. Saturday, I caught 30-ish. Today, the wind was blowing so hard that I had to get off the water at about 11:30. The weather app said gusts of 40, so I actually believed it. It was getting pretty dangerous out there. But I caught like 20 before it started getting dangerous. Water temperature 56 to 60, depending on how far back in the creek you are. It's warmer in the backs of the creeks right now. Main Lake is pretty stained. As you get farther back in those creeks, it turns that beautiful like Tennessee River green, that light stain that everybody wants to fish. Like it's so fishable in the creeks right now. It's ridiculous. You're going to hear people catching them on everything because they are swim baits, spinner baits, crankbaits. Like you could do anything and catch a few fish right now. I don't have any more tournaments for the rest of the year, so I'm just going to tell you exactly how I've been catching them. And people have been asking to list exactly what bait I'm throwing, to not just say jerk bait, to tell them what jerk bait. So the way I've been catching them and the baits I've been catching them on. I'll start with the area. What I've been doing is focusing on those spawning pockets, and then I'll come out to the first deep water. So look for real protected areas, like several spawning coves in a row, and then fish the points. They want to spawn, but the weather just isn't quite stable or warm enough for them to spawn yet. So they're sitting on the outsides of those spawning pockets waiting. Every fish I've caught had a giant gut on it. They're ready to get back in there and start doing their thing. It's just not stable enough yet. So find that first deep water outside of those spawning pockets. Now I can't say what's going on up the lake. If you fish up Burnside or Conley Bottom area, I don't fish up that way very much. I fish basically from Wolf Creek down. So that's what's happening on the lower end of the lake, from mid lake down. Secondary points, you can probably catch a few on main lake points, but that's how I've been catching them. I'm specifically focusing on secondary points and those points right at the mouth of spawning pockets. I'm doing a little 1-2 punch. I'll go down, I'll cover water with a jerk bait. I've been throwing a Mega Bass 110 in Tennessee shad, and they've been absolutely choking it. Like you won't even see the bait when you're reeling the fish in, like they're choking that thing. And you can work that thing as fast as you want. I mean, just snap, 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 snap. Like no pauses, no nothing, just work it. They've been destroying it. And then the 2 to the 1-2 punch, I have had a really hard time finding a bait that I can catch fish on consistently in those high percentage areas. Like if you go to Douglas Lake in Tennessee, you know you can throw a shaky head on a high percentage area and catch that fish. And on Lake Norris, it's a finesse jig. Like there's just certain baits on certain lakes that you can throw in a high percentage area, work it, and catch that fish. And Cumberland, I hadn't found that until recently. And I have been drop shotting a Berkeley flatworm max scent in green pumpkin. It's kind of a fad bait. Like there's a big bandwagon of people loving that bait, and I typically don't like to go with the crowd. I like to throw something different, but I tried everything. So I found a few packs at Backwaters here in Lexington, and I've been drop shotting the thing, and it's been absolutely murdering them. Like if you see a place that says there should be a fish there, drop shot that bait in there and you'll catch that fish. Like I've got some fish catches on here, I'll show you. Largemouth, smallmouth spots. Got some 3-pound spots doing that. Like cover water with that jerk bait, but if you see somewhere that looks just fishy as all get out, drop shot that flatworm and you'll catch that fish. It's just a fish catching bait on Cumberland. And I hate that it is a fad bait and it's really hard to get. Like I bought all that Brad had the other day at Backwaters, but he promised me he'd have more in today, so go get you a pack or two. I'm going to go leave here now and get a few more packs because they are so hard to get. Tackle Warehouse is sold out of most colors, but green pumpkin is what I've been catching them in. I'm a green pumpkin fanatic. I think that thing just smells weird and they love it. But yeah, jerk bait, edges of those spawning pockets, and then drop shot when you want. A lot of people don't like to drop shot Cumberland because you'll hang up in those trees a lot, but just get used to retime because that thing has been catching them. I flipped, can't catch a fish flipping. Caught a few on a spinnerbait here and there. Caught a few cranking here and there, a few on a swim bait here and there. But right now, jerk bait, drop shot, and you'll catch fish. Like it's just, you will catch fish. I hope this helps somebody because I don't have any more tournaments. So have at it. Catch all you can. Leave me some comments of how you're catching them. If you want any other information, feel free to message me your comment. Bye. Now there's a tank. That's a 4.5 to 5 pound smallmouth there. I mean, that is a tank. Woo, that's good to start the day with. Look at that thing, man. I mean, she's ready to pop. That's 22 inches. I mean, spring jerk, this thing's pissing me off. Spring jerk baiting at its finest. Crushed it. Good hard fight. Man, that's what it's all about.
Another good one. I mean, that's pretty close. Choking.
Keeper. 3+ pounder. They're just chewing that jerkbait so good. Not quite a keeper, but pretty close. Good one. Well, that shows you about the 1-2 punch today.